How do you turn world-class innovation into world-class companies? One way. And that is by combining technology with science brilliance, comprising of creative geniuses. That's the call of the 21st century post-pandemic. It's not about just being an outstanding intellectual in the marketplace. It's about being a creative genius to meet this time and era of innovation. If we are going to battle against the economic weapons of mass destruction, as I call them, you will never know when there is a next virus that's going to hit us, when companies will have to shut down, close down. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to be able to have that growth zone from within, in the health, in the spiritual living, mindful living, in all faculties and sectors of life, so that we can meet and beat the storm that's going to come to us. And so 40 years ago, when I was preparing to go to England, 1982, it was the era of the great inflation of the 80s. And, you know, it was a time when 40 years there were crises of living. Inflation was high. And then stepped in, it was a prelude to the Big Bang. You know, the overture before the next Chancellor was coming in, called Nigel Lawson, Sir Nigel Lawson. And they were talking about ways to navigate through the financial crisis. Today, 40 years later, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Jeremy Hunt, yesterday delivered his autumn statement. And what is it about? The crisis of living and to rebuild the economy. And so I quote, and this is what he said: in the face of unprecedented global headwinds, these were the same headwinds 40 years ago that navigated the country through crisis after crisis. And so it affected families, it affected pensioners, businesses, teachers, nurses. He laid it all out. The same people that were in the marketplace 40 years ago. We have a national genius for innovation. See, at the end of the day, when it comes to a crisis, what do? You look for the creative geniuses in the nation. You look for people who have got the mindset to create new methods, new ways, innovative thinking to be able to bring out success in the financial sector. A rich nation is a wealthy nation, but a wealthy mindset is better than having mental health. We need mental wealth. So this is important. All right. So he's writing and he's saying we have a national genius of innovation. You know, it's a land where there was Newton and Darwin and Fleming and Faraday and Franklin. He quoted all the geniuses of the era. What about today? Post-pandemic, 21st century. Why not quote people in this time, for such a time as this? And so I lay out to you that to be a science superpower of the 21st century, we will be defined by artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and robotics. So my call to you, if you're a CEO, if you're a COO, if you're a marketplace entrepreneur, you need to become a creative genius. You might be an outstanding intellectual. I'm a plastic surgeon, 40 years in the making, in the marketplace. But one thing I can always turn to is that creative mind. In order to navigate through this crisis for the next 40 years, I wonder what the next Chancellor of the Exchequer would be calling out. What would we have faced in the next 40 years? And so he talks about these 5 growth industries: digital, life sciences, green industries for transformation, financial services, advanced manufacturing. These are the challenges. And the most important driver for global success, one word: competition. Are you ready? Or are you just quite happy in the comfort zone? Are you ready to get out from there and move into the investment zone? Are you ready to become a high performance performer in the marketplace? Are you ready to make yourself move on to the next level of success? Competition. The problem with all of us is we are all too happy and comfort in where we are living. We are quite happy. We take it. Why go for another plate when my plate is full? I'm quite happy. So this is the reason why MindFLOW Ergonomics, when I founded it 3 months ago, did I know that this message will be coming out? It's about, transforming outstanding intellectuals into becoming creative geniuses. How do you do that? It's by having a holistic mindset. Because today we've got faculty speakers, experts who are talking about brain power, increasing the lifespan of the brain so that we can rewire, we can rethink, we can reinvent, we can remap, we can understand what is the conversations that are going on in the brain, and we can tap into the power and potential of who we are as geniuses. And then we have others who talk about mindfulness and how do we stay calm, how do we stay in control of any particular situation. It's all about responses, isn't it? But even more important than responses is choices. We are not a product of our choices, and we are not a byproduct of our responses. We are a product of our choices. I repeat that. And so it's important for us to turn from our comfort zone into an investment zone. How do we do that? MindFLOW Ergonomics is the call for the 21st century post-pandemic. It's about transforming intellectuals in the marketplace into becoming creative geniuses to meet this moment and to meet this time. And so it is important that we have an integrated solution to the problems in the marketplace. You can be a CEO, you can be a COO. I'm a plastic surgeon, but did I ever know that I was dying on the inside because of toxic stress, because of what is around me? But if I can now master the faculties of the brain power, the faculties of how I can love my vagus nerve, how I can control my sympathetic system, my parasympathetic, there are so many things that we have learned. And so MindFLOW Ergonomics takes all these different faculties to get you into a higher performance level of geniuses. And that's important for us. And as the Chancellor says, transforming British intellectual genius into British commercial success. MindFLOW is about transforming you into becoming a competitive genius in the marketplace. For that, you need a creative mindset. You need to have people around you who are innovative, and you need to be a visionary. Because without vision, the people will perish. So join us on MindFLOW Ergonomics, and together we will make that difference.